All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to the post-election Tokemetrics live stream. Hey, Bill, how are you?
Ian, hi. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, always, always. So we're now living in a totally brand new world. Everything has changed. So in today's show, we'll cover and give you our insight and analysis on how crypto has changed with a new administration. So whatever questions you have, be sure to ask them. This is going out to both our Facebook channel, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube. Also gets turned into a podcast. We'll also have a Mentimeter available for you to post any questions you have. Just go to menti.com, menti.com. Use the code 8400137. That's 8400137 to submit any questions you have. We'll give you everything you need to know on how to protect your portfolio in this new world, right? Because that's why we're here. So first on the stream was Jarek. What's up, Jarek? How are you on YouTube? King Nick, salute. Kana, Florian, Soifre, what's up? Nate Smith on Facebook, how are you? Thank you for thank you for the kind words. What's up, James? Wydad Savani, what's up? Nate Smith. Uh, not in stone. Yes, it's not been officially finalized, but I mean, for the most part, we can all assume it's pretty much finalized. I mean, during a Black Swan event or basically just long red tape and legal work, I mean, we can all, for the most part, assume. But regardless of your political affiliations, whether you support Biden or Trump or just Bitcoin, right? Obviously, all of us here support Bitcoin and crypto. We're here to. Oh wow! Happy 40th birthday, Jarek. That's what's up. Happy birthday to you.
Right.
To family. I mean, you're spending your birthday with us. I mean, we thank you so much. We definitely appreciate that.
We'll make it worth your while.
Yeah, let's make you some money.
That's right.
Okay, all right. So let me just post the code. So if you have any questions you want to submit to this live stream, go to menti.com. I'll put the code in the chat. And with that being said, Bill, let's hop straight into the market update.
All right. So, as our friend hinted at, it's not all official yet. It's not. They are going to try to mess with Pennsylvania. Now, why do we care about that? Well, this is a 4-hour chart of the dollar index. And as you can see over here, whether we know who the president of the United States is or we don't, the election came out crypto friendly and that the dollar went down. Okay. Now, for crypto traders out there, of course, you're following crypto, not the normie world. I understand. But on January 5th, there's going to be a contest in Atlanta that's going to determine who controls the U.S. Senate. Okay. So the parade of ineptitude is not over. And I can't believe it's dollar friendly. It just isn't. Now, here's a friendly face. This is our new proposed Treasury Secretary. Okay. Now, this is a cutout from Zero Hedge. I'll leave it up on the screen if you want to read it on YouTube, but let me give you the high points. She's from the Fed. That's where they print all the money. They print the money at the Fed and they give it to the Treasury. So now the person at the Treasury is from the Fed.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Okay. Now, down here in the second paragraph, she notes that one of the biggest risks for the economy is if they fail to produce additional fiscal support. Okay. So naturally, we don't want anybody to be hurting at Christmas or at the holidays. But the fact of the matter is, folks, if we don't know who the president is, the election's not fully done. And even if it is, we don't know who's running the Senate until January 5th. So that means no package until after the holidays. Now, when we have somebody from the Fed running the Treasury, the last line comes to mind. Okay. It says in January, she gave a speech highlighting reform efforts necessary to encourage more lending in low and moderate income markets. You know what? Let me ask you something. How can central banks print money and have that get into the hands of the poorest people in the world or in the United States? How does that happen? Well, yeah, you could get a loan for a donut shop or whatever, or we could have crypto QE. All right. So there's crypto to the moon. There's crypto to the moon and beyond. And then this idea probably makes me a complete space case. People are going to think I'm crazy, which is great because those are the ideas that wind up working. And here's something that I put out on our Twitter. The big surprise is when central banks, okay, start adding crypto assets to their balance sheet as a part of QE. In other words, when the Fed prints money, they don't just drop it out of a helicopter, although that might be helpful in this case, but that's not how it works. They buy assets, they buy stocks, they buy junk bonds. And my comment is, well, if they can't get fiscal stimulus done and everybody at the Fed is running the Fed and everybody at the Fed is running the Treasury, then why not buy what's in everybody's PayPal account now, like Bitcoin? Okay. So if the people are coming, the corporations are coming, and the central banks will eventually figure it out, how high can it go? Older guys on Twitter like to draw parabolas. Younger guys like it too. So I figured out how to use the tool, the paint tool, just to draw it manually in Bitcoin. And it's basically a perfect parabola back from high school math, right? So why don't we just go to 20,000? Okay. But I don't even think that's the big move, right? In other words, you know, Token Metrics has been getting some press. People are calling, they want to write about Bitcoin. Okay. That's great. We're happy to help them. Okay. But for the live stream, we save the good stuff for our audience. Where's the big move going to be? Now, I know we talk about this every single show for a year, but we're not going to stop. Because now we got a fantastic looking green candlestick on the Ethereum weekly chart. As a matter of fact, it looks just like the one that started the mega down move in 2018 and the one that started the mega up move in 2017. Both moves were practically parabolic. In other words, they went straight in one direction. Okay. So let me ask you this. What exactly is stopping Ethereum from going to 1,500? Well, probably miners selling, right? From the gas fees, right? They earned a lot of ETH. Okay. So that's probably why Ethereum's been a little slow. But what happens when the miners get done selling, right? I think they're done selling now. And you will know when they're done selling because ETH will just be at 800 one day. Now, taking a page from the Token Metrics Indices page. Okay. Check this out. So I call this the Crypto QE portfolio. This is our value investor. In other words, I don't know, stuff that's considered undervalued, underappreciated. But take a look at what's in this portfolio for our value index, right? So starting on the left-hand corner, it's Bitcoin, it's Ethereum, right? And then moving right, you have Monero, Dash, and Zcash. Now, all of those cryptos have one thing in common. They're all used as money, particularly Dash in third world countries, okay? 0x, Coinbase, Cosmos, blockchain plumbing, along with Matic, okay? Now, I would guess that if I was at the Fed and I said, or I was anywhere, any central bank, or even maybe corporations, and said, hey, you know, guys, I want to have a couple different types of money on our books. Our artificial intelligence is picking this up for the quarter. Now, total crypto market cap. These are kind of You know, these are the Ian Balina spectacular charts, I think. Total crypto market cap. What's it been doing lately? Nothing. As you can see on the right axis, it's like about 140 billion right now, or 150 billion. And I don't see any reason why, given this Elliott wave structure, that the market couldn't add $50 billion to alt market cap, like in a hurry. Because when you have these, what's called a fifth wave, right? When you have that final leg up, it's just vertical. It's the moon, right? Now, if you go to Bitcoin dominance, okay? So Bitcoin dominance got to a level here where on the left-hand side, it kind of consolidated here during June. And that's where Bitcoin dominance fell out of bed when DeFi took off. So Bitcoin did nothing. DeFi exploded. Bitcoin dominance went down. Then over here on the right, you can see it looked like Bitcoin dominance was going to the moon. Naturally, when everyone thinks that, it's wrong. And then it turns around. Okay. And then suddenly altcoins come back into favor. Now, I do think Bitcoin's going up. Okay. But whatever Bitcoin can do, if Bitcoin goes up 25%, ETH could do a 2x. Now, if ETH can do a 2x, can you imagine what DeFi can do? Now, this is not something I drew after I had a couple beers. I've been thinking about this, and then I saw it in a chat room that's filled with really smart people. Okay. So let's just talk about basic Elliott wave. The parts that you want to catch are the third part and the fifth part. That's where the really big move comes. It's where you get the most gratification. It's called impulsive, like up every day. Okay. Now, if you look at DeFi, this is the DeFi futures contract, right? So from July to September, it went up, and DeFi was, DeFi was going to change the world. And then DeFi corrected, and then DeFi was going to zero, and crypto was illegal. And, that was it. It was over. We were going to have to trade NFTs for the rest of our life. Whatever. Not true. And then normally when everyone thinks that, DeFi bottoms. And then DeFi goes into a three wave, which is the biggest part of the trend. So that could mean Aave, Ren, right? Maybe even Wi-Fi and Compound, or DeFi protocols that we don't even know exist yet. And of course, Chainlink, right? We're talking about some of these tokens possibly 10xing off this move between like now and say January. In other words, if the government wants to act nonsensically, no problem. Right? Like the next Treasury chairman, the next person in charge of Treasury is from the place where they print the money. And then if we don't know who the president is, okay, then it's chaos. Now, a little bit of shilling for token metrics. I have been watching what our AI has been telling us for day trades for last week throughout the election, right? So we're all worried about it on the sidelines. And I think it's really interesting that like Uniswap up here. Uniswap appeared as a day trade every day for like 6 straight days. And then it went up 20% 3 days in a row. Bitcoin and Ethereum are both on those lists. So RAI is telling you that it is possible that you could have these melt up style moves in even the big currencies. In other words, everybody could go Uniswap. All right. So that's the market update.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Always great insights as always. Let's check in here with the audience and see if we have a few questions here. Be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to this video. What's up, everybody? Faisal says Uniswap is going big. Okay, here's a question. Trump is going to start suing on Monday. What would happen?
Okay, so this is a great question. So here's what I think their strategy is. So now we're going to move from crypto to politics, and hopefully I can bring it back to crypto. So if I was a strategist for Donald Trump, I would take a one step at a time approach, right? Trump is essentially saying that he went to bed on election night up big, and then all these ballots appeared in the middle of the night. Now, we're crypto. Who cares, right? We're laughing at these people counting paper ballots. Really? All right. So all Trump has to do is show that one of the key states was subject to massive fraud. In Philadelphia, I studied the history of American cities and American city politics in college. My professor had a joke that in big cities, not only do the dead vote, but they vote twice. Now, if Trump's caught these guys in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania, the Supreme Court has in the past thrown out election results and say, go back to the polls and do it over. That could mean everyone has to show up at the polls to vote again. And God help us all if they did that in Pennsylvania, and instead of losing by 32,000, Trump won by 150. That means all the other states are probably BS. So they're trying to get one state to get the whole thing in question. Now, is that going to work? I would imagine it probably won't work, because the court of public opinion will probably be against Trump. All right. Now, you have to be prepared, coming back to crypto, for the kind of sharp dips that we saw. So yes, I think the market can go parabolic, but I do think you're going to get dips. And you got to take advantage of those dips, because they're going to be short-lived. Because if we don't know who the president of the United States is, if we do know who the president of the United States is and they cannot get stimulus through, and if it's a blue wave and everybody in Georgia votes blue for senators, then crypto is going up under any of these circumstances, because the dollar would just absolutely crash. The only scenario where I see crypto getting destroyed is where, like, if the Supreme Court literally throws out the entire election and they have to start over, right? I mean, that would be the black swan. In the meantime, I think it's like 3 to 4 events favoring crypto, one against.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would definitely be crazy. I mean, but it's 2020, so
Right.
the year's not over yet. Anything could happen.
Right. Trump's been really quiet. Have you noticed that? Like,
Yeah, too quiet.
they're either cutting him a deal for a job to go away, right? Because he's out of a job technically, so he can look for a job. So either he's getting paid with a new job to go away, or they got something red hot.
Yeah. Now I've also been hearing that if he does lose, once everything's kind of made final, if he ends up losing, he could also run again 4 years later, because you have 2 terms to run as president, which would be pretty crazy as well. All right, but tell us what you think down in the comments below. Okay, all right, so let's now shift to Crypto Showdown. So if you have any questions you would like to submit, please go to menti.com, menti.com. Use the code 8400137. That's 8400137 to submit your questions. So Crypto Showdown, which cryptocurrency do you think will do best in 2020? We have 2 more months left. What cryptocurrency will finish out strong? So our audience so far, the options are Ethereum and Bitcoin. Bill has kind of shared his insight and perspective on that. Anything else you want to add to that in terms of Bitcoin or Ethereum to kind of close out the year, Bill?
Yeah, I just can't help my contrarian impulses, right? In other words, How unbelievable would it be if Bitcoin went to 25? Because I think this is how it was in 2017. Like Bitcoin went first and then ETH followed. So if Bitcoin goes to 2,500, ETH could just 3x, right? QQQ, right. NASDAQ 100 is 70% above its 2017 high. And Ethereum is 70% below it, right? Like the tech of the past versus the tech of the future. Got to take a shot at ETH, man. I can't help it.
Yeah. So actually, here let's also just kind of see what Token Metrics has to say. So, if we go to our price prediction models, so as we mentioned, they were bullish on Bitcoin all the way up until pretty much election day, and then they kind of had Bitcoin kind of coming back down, and Bitcoin has been faring a lot better than expected. It's definitely above any of our predictions, but now it's pulling back. There's been a correction, and our models expect Bitcoin to be between 14,000 and go all the way down to about 13K. So all in all, still bullish for Bitcoin in the next 1 month or so. Now, if we go to Ethereum, let's check the price predictions for that. So they actually have, Ethereum has kind of been all over the place on this. But basically, we see Ethereum going to about 350. Now, there was a blog post recently by Vitalik announcing basically Ethereum phase 0, I believe. Now, everyone knows I'm very bullish on Ethereum. If I had to choose between the two, though, it's very difficult. I think this year is probably going to be the year for Bitcoin, but I think next year is the year for Ethereum, because ETH 2.0 is just too good for there not to really be just more awareness, because Bitcoin is basically going to be getting the attention during Thanksgiving, during Christmas. But I think once Ethereum starts to progress with 2.0 and proof of stake, then I think everyone's is just going to FOMO into Ethereum. That's kind of my take on that. But tell us what you think. So going back to our question of the day, or rather, sorry, Crypto Showdown, looks like more people are bullish on Ethereum to end up the year. So I'm not sure if that's because people like altcoins a lot or if it's due to ETH 2.0, but tell us what you think. Are you more bullish on Bitcoin, Ethereum? Post down below in the comments. Okay, all right, let's go on to the next question. Okay, so now time for question of the day. What is the next big trend in crypto? We're about to wrap up 2020. We're heading into 2021. What big trend will lead and be the catalyst for crypto going to the moon and beyond? Is it Bitcoin? Is it Ethereum? Is it DeFi, NFTs, or others? So go to menti.com, menti.com, use the code 884000137, and tell us what you think. Bill, so what's your take? What do you think is going to be the next big trend in crypto?
You know what? I'm going to step way out on a limb. This is the Bill Way Out on a Limb show. I'm going to go with other, and I think the other could be privacy. Okay. In other words, if people perceive that their wallets are about to get light, these privacy coins, like Monero's been going up all year, probably because McAfee got arrested and stopped selling it. Okay. But people may start thinking about having these privacy coins as just a trade, just how much can they go up? I mean, if you look at what some of these coins are capable of doing, they could 2x. I think my second choice would be DeFi, because I don't think DeFi is dead. I think governance tokens may not be so good. Okay. They may underperform, but there are going to be aspects of DeFi, particularly when Polkadot comes online. DeFi is not dead. Right. And you got to watch out for the Link Marines. Right.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
They're not.
Yeah. So, I mean, going on that list, I mean, everyone is talking about NFTs, and I think that if everyone's talking about it, it's not its time to shine yet. I think uh, it's too early. I've tried looking into it and trying to see what all the hype is about. Maybe I missed something, but I mean, yes, I do think there is a valid use case for NFTs, but I just don't think it's going to be the big trend to take crypto mainstream or to take just crypto into the moon and beyond. Uh, if anything, I think ETH 2.0 is going to be it, right? So going back to the other question as well, I think the big trend in crypto is ETH 2.0 because I think that's going to really give Bitcoin a run for its money, something that nobody has really seen before. And I think once that happens, a lot more interest, a lot more awareness, a lot more people will start looking into Ethereum as the replacement to Bitcoin. Now, the flipping might not happen yet, but I think it's going to get closer. And then following that, I'll probably say DeFi. Kind of like you, I don't think DeFi is dead at all. If we go to DeFi Pulse, let's take a look. There's $12.3 billion in DeFi. So, I mean, traffic might be down, but it is not dead. I mean, DeFi went from 4.5 billion in August. We're going into December now, mid of November, basically. We're at 12.5 billion. So in no way, shape, or form is DeFi dead at all. And so many new DeFi projects are launching all the time, and everything is happening on Ethereum. That's why, in a way, I think with ETH 2.0, DeFi and everything is going to be a lot better. So that's why I'm very, very bullish on Ethereum 2.0, and as a result, on ETH. Now, if we go to our audience, they have decided the next big trend in crypto, drum rolls, is DeFi again. So DeFi followed by NFTs, followed by Ethereum, followed by other, followed by Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin in last place. That one I did not see coming. Very, very interesting. So let's check in with the audience and see what they have to say in the comments below. Okay, people are saying DeFi, smart contracts, NFTs linked to characters. Okay, NFTs in games makes sense, but I guess I don't understand as well as I should. Yeah, I mean, everyone's talking about NFTs in gaming, but I guess I'm one of those people where I'll believe it when I see it. Because, I mean, we saw what happened with CryptoKitties. It had lots of FOMO, lots of interest for a bit, and that was pretty much it. Nothing has happened ever since then. While I feel like DeFi has still been strong, even in a correction. And I think that there's just a lot more happening. But with that being said, tell us what you think down in the comments below. Okay, moving on to the next question. Okay, so this is kind of a beginner question, but this comes from the forum, I believe. So we do have a crypto forum. You can go to forum.tokenmetrics.com. Our team tries to go there and get the questions people ask. So this is a question from the forum. What is the best way to buy crypto with fiat? I would say it depends on how much crypto you're buying. I personally use crypto exchanges, fiat gateways. So the ones I use are Coinbase Pro, Gemini. Those are probably the main ones. I have both personal accounts and also both business accounts or institutional accounts. If you're buying large amounts of money, you can also buy OTC via exchanges. The best OTC desk, in my opinion, is Kraken. That's one. There's also Cumberland Mining and some others. Bill, how about you? What would you recommend for buying crypto with fiat?
Yeah, I mean, assuming we're not talking about over the counter, I think the best introductory crypto experience is with Coinbase, right? You know, they really vet their projects. You know, they're probably great with KYC, AML. There's so much at stake for them to be compliant running out of the United States. and I even think that if there was a problem or a security problem or a hack, I just think Coinbase, even though there's no FDIC of crypto, I mean, Coinbase is going to sit around and let their accounts get wiped out. No way. So, I mean, Coinbase is the best place to start, mainly because, everything on Coinbase, although, some of the coins are bleh, but most of them are decent, right? So you can't get in too much trouble on Coinbase relative to what can happen on Uniswap, where, roaches come in, but they don't come out.
Yeah. All right. So tell us what you think. Are there any fiat gateways you like? Show them down in the comments below. Okay. All right. Next question, also from the forum. What does a Bitcoin rally mean to our portfolios? All right. Good question. Bill?
Okay. So let's take a shot at two different definitions of portfolios, right? So if you're holding equities and you don't have any Bitcoin or you don't have enough Bitcoin, well, you better get some because every corporation and maybe the hedge funds and probably the central banks are next. Okay. Now, what does Bitcoin mean? What does the Bitcoin rally mean? If this person's talking about like I have an alt portfolio, or I've got, I either got good alts or I've got bags. I'm keeping the faith that Bitcoin is leading the market higher, right? That, Bitcoin has put on a show. It may put on a show one more time. But again, if Bitcoin goes up 25%, I know going back to 20K sounds like a big deal, but it's really only 20 or 30%, right? Whereas I think in the alt universe, you could be looking at, 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, right? I mean, I don't think particularly like, Uniswap can maybe go back to 4, okay? But I mean, if you saw what happened with Yearn, okay? Some of these DeFi tokens that, are kind of like the ones that are going to make it, they've got 3x potential. So I would say if a Bitcoin rally creates a scary dip in your alt portfolio, just buy more alts. I mean, I said this on the show the night before the election. I am BTFD until proven wrong.
I like that.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So you heard it here first, guys. BTFD to the moon and beyond. Tell us what you think down below. Okay. All right. So now let's go to the AMA. So if you have any questions you want to submit, just go to menti.com. That's MENTI.com. Use the code 8400137. Okay. So now we have a request. So do you think Aave will be big in the future? Okay, all right. So let's have Bill pull that up. If we go to DeFi Pulse here, so Aave is basically used for lending. Now, Aave has more than $1 billion in money locked up. So Aave is already doing well. For anybody who has been in Aave for the last 1 year, you're up a lot. You've made your money. Aave is basically known for flash loans. That's kind of their claim to fame. And they do it well. I mean, so it's definitely used very well by traders. Our team has done a review on Aave. If you go to tokenmetrics.com, the technology is solid. We definitely think it's a good project from a tech standpoint. As a result, we would have to say we're definitely bullish long-term on its future. But if you're trading it, that varies because traders have a shorter time span. But long-term, we think it's definitely a solid project. I mean, I would say all these projects here are in the top for a reason because they have good tech. Right? Compound has good tech, Maker, Aave. So, I mean, if we had to choose one, that's probably tough. But I would say we definitely do think Aave could be up there. Bill?
Okay, here comes the chart. Okay, so this type of price action is what happens when something is mispriced. So this is the 4-hour chart of AVE futures, right? And as you can see, it just does a 1x from 25 to 50. Now, is this a good long-term investment? Probably, right? Because if DeFi moons, it's going to take everything else with it. What is this worth? I don't know. Okay. But it stands to reason that this DeFi futures contract, okay, hasn't even started going up yet. So even though AVE looks like it's doubled or it's done a 1x, it's probably got more to go, right? And at the end of the day, right, all these tokens, they all benefit from speculation, from lending for speculators, right? I think REN is also like that, but REN is also like a tollway, as I understand it, right? I actually talked to a guy in person who runs REN nodes, and he explained to me that it is a tollway, okay? So, you know, I think that is something really interesting as an add-on, that people are going to find new uses for these tokens. And again, don't be surprised, even if it's small, don't be surprised to see a central bank come in and try to participate in DeFi and move US dollar interest rates around. Okay. I know this is a little off topic, but I have read something that everyone thinks that governments are going to build their own blockchains and make their own, you know, stable coins. And there's another theory that the governments aren't going to do that. They're either going to regulate or try to move around existing stable coins and try to move their interest rates around. So again, don't be surprised if you see Uncle Sam go, you know what? DeFi's okay. We're going to play too.
I mean, so how would that happen, right? How would Uncle Sam get into crypto? Like, are they going into Coinbase and buying crypto, or are they buying
They would do it
Bitcoin
through
futures?
right. They could do it. You know, they would probably go through backed or an over-the-counter desk, right? Buy the backed futures contract in Bitcoin and then just clandestinely take delivery, right? Or
Okay.
they could do it through an over-the-counter desk
Now,
that,
I mean, why would they buy Bitcoin? Because won't that be them kind of admitting defeat? That, yeah, the dollar sucks. We're hedging. We're hedging our own currency.
okay. Well, so this is a good question, right? So what do central banks own when they print money? Well, we know that they own gold, right? They hold gold at the Fed in New York. We know that, of course, because it's a central bank, it holds all the fiat currencies. We know that when the Fed wants to prop up assets and make people feel better about the economy, that they buy stocks. You know, when they printed 2.6 trillion, they didn't hand that to the public. They bought the entire corporate bond market, all of it. Now, why would the Fed do it? Well, I mean, if everyone's got a little Bitcoin in their account, in their PayPal account or their Coinbase account, and Congress can't hand out money, then the Fed could just come in and double the price of Bitcoin. And all of a sudden, everybody who's holding crypto has got extra money. Right? So, yeah, okay, I know. I know. The first time I say any of these things, everyone's like, oh, okay, Bill, you must have had a really good weekend, buddy. Okay. But, you know, research is about imagination, right? So we want to imagine, while everyone's squabbling over ballots, we want to imagine what's next. And what's the most bullish thing that could happen for crypto? Not only is that we get friendly regulators, not only do we get corporations buying it, but what happens if the central banks buy it? What happens if the Central Bank of Switzerland wants a little Bitcoin? They make no bones about being a hedge fund. They bought the dip in March in US tech stocks publicly. It only takes one central bank to get it started, and it takes two to have it be a movement.
Yeah. I mean, if that happens, we'll be having this on our yacht.
Right. Right. Well,
Right.
this is the reason I'm making the point is that everyone thinks altcoins are dead, and altcoins are like, yeah, they go way up and way down. I've been on our Twitter pounding the table on this. Altcoins, the upside in altcoins already trading is way bigger than anybody thinks. Because if Big Brother Bitcoin and Ethereum do a 1x or a 2x, I mean, look at what alts are already doing. A wave of liquidity is coming because a wave of stupidity is unending when it comes to elections, running governments, and doing fiscal policy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to make fun of these people. I'm an American. I really don't want to mess. I don't. Okay. And I don't want to see governments act in a way that discourages people from trying to make money. But the fact of the matter is, that's all possible. And when you put somebody from the Fed at the Treasury Department, right? I mean, it's like making the person in charge of baking cookies in charge of the cookie jar. I mean, it's cookies for everybody, right?
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Bill. So tell us what you think down in the comments below. Okay, let's go on to the next one. This is a Uniswap coin, Bill. So let's have you maybe open up Dex Tools for that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So question is, hi, any thoughts about Robonomics? Symbol is XRT. Okay. All right. So as Bill pulls that up to do TA, now I've not heard of this. It seems there's a new Degen coin launching every week. So I have no idea what this is about, to be honest, but let's take a look. Maybe something to do with robots.
All right. So let me pull up the quick view here.
Okay.
Coming up. Okay. And I have a feeling this is going to be the 2020-2021 formation. Okay. So this is called Kill It. Okay. And then possibly Moon It. So this volume would clearly indicate that something has fundamentally shifted for this coin. Right. Clearly. So when you have something like this, okay, it's stopped right where the whole down move started. So I don't think if you miss this, you have to pay up to get into it. This looks a lot like Aave. In other words, a lot of these small tokens just unwound the last leg of the disaster, right? Like, this is everybody puking out all the way down, right? And then one big player comes in to buy it. And I don't know what this is, but the sheer fact that something like this is happening, all right, is telling you that there are big players out there in alts. This is the other thing I haven't gotten to, right? In other words, who bought all that, right? Like, who was the buyer that drove all that volume? Well, guess what, folks? The hedge funds are coming in altcoins, right? It's perfect timing. Like, if you missed it on the way up and it came all the way back down, this is your big chance to get in, right? Now, unfortunately, we probably have a lot of discouraged people out there because it went way up and everyone got hurt on the way down, and people may be hesitant to get in. That's why I'm adopting the BTFD attitude, right? You have to reset your head as best you can and come to the conclusion that even though I may be nuts about central banks buying crypto assets for their balance sheet, the fact of the matter is Bitcoin could get so big that it's going to drag the whole space with it.
All right, so I've pulled up their site here. Still trying to figure out what exactly they do. Looks like there's some kind of IoT smart city. So, because if we go here, Robonomics Network, secure, cost-effective, and futuristic IoT platform for connecting robotics under Polkadot and Ethereum. Okay, so it looks like an IoT platform for Polkadot and Ethereum. I mean, I think seems to me like there's definitely some FOMO because of that, because of Polkadot, Ethereum, and IoT. But I don't really have a full grasp on what exactly they're doing. Maybe there's some kind of event happening here that's causing people to pile in, or maybe they just launched pretty soon. But I mean, IoT use case is interesting. Obviously, people know I'm a big fan of Helium Network. That's kind of in my long-term portfolio as an investment. That's also an IoT play. So we'll definitely have to look more into this. But for anybody out there who likes it, tell us what you think. Why do you like this project? There are obviously lots of people who gave us a thumbs up on the AMA. So tell us what you think down below. Why do you like XRT? Okay, all right. Moving on. Okay, what are your thoughts on Base protocol? Many people are saying it's Ampleforth with a real use case, as in it's the next big one. I mean, anytime you hear it's the next big one, you want to be very, very doubtful. Obviously, we're not saying it can't not be the next big one, but and people say that about every project they like. So let's have Bill pull that up on his end. No, I haven't looked too much into Base protocol as well. I mean, they've been, but I would say Ampleforth has been very innovative with what they've done. I mean, they've had so many projects copy them with inelastic supply cryptocurrencies from, I mean, basically every single food coin. I mean, really, you could say DeFi was this. I feel like the first catalyst for DeFi was compound launching. Then you could say that the other catalyst was Ampleforth and what they did, causing all these other food forks and clones to launch and basically copy them from Yams to so many others, right? To Pickle and others. So I think Ampleforth has really innovated in that capacity. Now, whether or not Base protocol is the next one, that remains to be seen. I think it's too early to say that. I think it's really, the space is getting very, very crowded. Now, the project Ohe Maddie covered last week, I forget what it was, the one with kind of a new spin on the gamification of yield farming. I think that was pretty interesting. That was definitely worth looking into. Bill, let me know when you're ready.
Okay, so I have the symbol as BABB from CoinMarketCap. It's okay. Well, let me.
Yeah, Base protocol. Based, BASED is the token name.
Got it. Okay. BASED. Okay, got it.
Yeah, because the website says, "Welcome to Game Theory for Degenerates." Right. So I mean, it's a DJing coin. So I would not put my life savings into it, and I wouldn't really keep too much money in it long term, because it seems like it's really just a short term play, essentially, to be diplomatic.
Okay, so this is based money. Okay, 1 hour from CoinMarketCap. You know, honestly, it looks like the volume has disappeared. Okay, so it looks like it's really tough to trade. The nature of the price action changed in mid-October. It doesn't move naturally, but you can tell it is sort of moving in a clean uptrend. Okay, in other words, this structure, all right, is actually pretty bullish if I've got the right coin up here. Like this type of movement can be constructive. So whatever's happening here, this could be a good trade. Okay. I just hope you have the liquidity to do what you want to do with it. The question is, can you get liquidity?
Yeah, I mean, I would say probably not.
Probably not.
So be careful. All right, tell us what you think of this project down below. Okay, all right. So moving on to the next one. Man, all these small, tiny project names you guys are submitting today. I mean, I guess, is it altcoins all over again? Okay, what are your thoughts on Bondly? It seems like this will be the energy to power the Polkadot ecosystem. Okay, yeah, I mean, this, I have no idea what this is again. But let's see if this is on CoinGecko. Okay, yeah, it's not even on CoinGecko yet. So, I mean, this seems like pretty early. Now, if we go to their website here, we see bringing agile and trusted DeFi to everyone. Okay, I mean, don't we already have DeFi? Okay, so looks like it's a Polkadot. I'm saying Polkadot, Ring, Kusama, a portable peer-to-peer exchange that enables trading across any chain through any medium. Okay, so it's kind of like PolkaSwap. It seems like for Polkadot, like a, yeah, so the Bondly native substrate blockchain is designed to support lowest cost transfers for assets. Okay, I mean, let's not try to have projects that are new and aren't trading, because we can't really do much on the live stream in terms of analysis or TA on these projects. But definitely tell us why you like the project. But let's try to keep it to projects already trading. All right. Okay. Let's just wrap up that one there. Okay. What is your Ethereum 2022 price prediction? I mean, short answer, we don't know. But if we had to predict, wow. So that's basically 2 years from now, essentially. Definitely past all-time high. I would say, actually, let me just do some quick math here. So in terms of Ethereum's market cap, Ethereum is at 51 billion market cap. So where can Ethereum go from here? Assuming the supply is not really shifting too much. And Bitcoin is at 286 billion. I mean, I could see Ethereum getting to Bitcoin's market cap. So that would be, Ethereum's right now is 453. Let's just say 450. So let's say does a 5 to 6x. So I could see Ethereum getting to 2,500, 3,000. That would kind of, I think that seems reasonable, but that's just me just totally speculating, nothing scientific, just kind of basing it on it getting to Bitcoin's market cap in about 2 years with ETH 2.0. Bill, how about you?
All right, so let's look at this. Let's look at Ethereum versus Bitcoin, right? The actual cross rate between the two of them. Okay. Now, it took 2 years for Ethereum to crash and then base, right? So, hearkening back to the days of DeFi, the bigger the base, the higher into space, right? Currently, ETH versus Bitcoin trades at 0.03, roughly. No, trades at 0.027. Okay. I got an idea. How about it trades at 1? 1. Same price. Right? In other words, what if this is the coiling, the base to go higher into space? So I don't know. How about ETH 10,000? I mean, how much silly stuff has happened in governments in the last month or two? And then projecting that out to 2022. And oh, by the way, any price prediction, not financial advice, and assumes that the human race is still functioning because of the pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 more years of this. It's not going away, right? So assuming we're not coming to you from like the Token Metrics underground bunker by then, I don't see what stops Ethereum from going up that high.
Wow, 10,000.
Right. In other
Oh, man.
words, if somebody had told you when Bitcoin was at 500 that it was going to go to 20,000, you would have laughed at them even if you were in crypto. Right. So
Right.
now is the time to make ludicrous price predictions using technical analysis, not financial advice, right? Now is the time, right? BTFD means exactly that. Like there were players in equities, okay? So just to make sure you know I'm not making all this up. There were guys that came out in 2009, in 2010. And these hedge funds applied BTFD to equities when everything was still in ashes from 2008. And they bought every dip. And they were huge dips. 25% drop on Greece problems, right? The country Greece, 2010, 2011. They bought every single dip. You can't believe how much money they made. Everyone swore it was going to crash. These guys, they had conviction, right? What should we call this segment of the show? We should call it the conviction show, the conviction part. That's what BTFD really means, right? In other words, you believe it, and you believe it no matter what news comes out, that if it dips, you're buying it. That's the mode that I'm in until proven wrong.
All right. I like that mode. All right. So tell us what you think. What's your price prediction for Ethereum in 2022? Post down below. All right. Let's check in here with the audience and see how they're doing. Now, people are saying Bill's on it. Yeah, he is. Okay. I can see 10K ETH at some point, but BTC probably won't be at 10K at the same time, says Edson. Okay. And then Joe says ETH total world domination 2022. Yeah, I agree as well. I would wager more if I had it, says Peter. Okay, yeah, thank you for the super chat, Gwen. We appreciate it. Not sure I see a question here. Okay, actually, yes, I see here. Won't layer 2 projects be obsolete after ETH 2.0? Okay, that's actually a good question. So question is, won't layer 2 projects be obsolete with ETH 2.0? Honestly, I think from talking to our developer, Paresh, our CTO, when he went to ETH 2.0 talk in London, where Vitalik was speaking, he came back the happiest I've ever seen him. He said Ethereum 2.0 is going to kill most projects out there that are trying to be the next Ethereum. He said, if they can do what they want to do with ETH 2.0, 90% of blockchains will be obsolete because Ethereum will have scaled and have a better network and better developers and better applications. So from that standpoint, I would say yes. I mean, even layer 2, I would say for the most part, yes, but not everything. I mean, so disclosure, everyone knows I'm very bullish on Matic Network. They're also a layer 2 scaling protocol that's meant to help Ethereum developers who have dApps and games scale, right? Basically helping them go mainstream. Now, the Matic team, Sandeep, their COO, has told us that even if Ethereum 2.0 launches, Matic network won't be obsolete. So that's one of the few projects I believe won't be obsolete. Now, in terms of the others, that I don't really know, right? And they say the reason is Ethereum 2.0 is basically going to have sharding, and I believe it will only scale to about 64 shards. That's kind of where things get too technical, and I'll have to check their white paper and all that stuff. But my understanding is that yes, it will scale, but it still won't be fast enough for gaming. And as a result of that, Matic network will still have a use case. So that's basically kind of the Cliff Notes non-techie version. But I do think 90% of projects, especially blockchains, will be useless, completely useless, to a point where it's basically Ethereum's race to lose. Bill?
Well, I mean, folks, I grew up in New Jersey, so there's like the Turnpike and the Parkway, right? So it's either Bitcoin and Ethereum, or it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Polkadot. Like, I don't know, maybe we might need another DeFi highway like Polkadot. But again, you know, once they come out with 2.0, because we are getting old waiting for it. If you can hear us out there in Switzerland, we are getting a little old waiting for it. But once it comes out, remember, ETH is both money and a tech stock at the same time. Like, I know there's a ton of ways to think about ETH, but the SEC has already said it's not a security. It's not. It's a currency, but it has the properties of a tech stock. So we might need more than one, but you're right. We're not going to need more than two.
Yeah, I mean, I think those three are definitely great long-term investments. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot, you can't really go wrong with those. I mean, I think anybody who has those and holds for 5 years will be doing pretty well. All right, so tell us what you think down below. All right, so next one. This is an oldie but goodie. Hasn't been back here in a while. Feels like forever. Chainlink is back. So could Chainlink reach $1,000 in the future? Let's have Bill bring up the TA and tell us what he thinks long term for Chainlink. If you own Chainlink, tell us down below in the comments. I want to see how many people are still in Chainlink.
Wow, no pressure. $1,000 price target on Chainlink, huh?
Just $1,000? That's it?
Yeah, that's it. Okay. So with Chainlink, and I'm getting there. The big question is, can anybody do what Chainlink can do? Right? Now, the last conversation I had about this, people told me that Chainlink kind of comes in a very dominant fashion, right? And says, why would you do business with anybody else when we'll help you get up to speed? Just stay with us, right? We'll help you with marketing. So I can tell you what I could believe. Okay. I could believe Chainlink at, say, 160, right?
Mm-hmm.
In other words, let's pretend that Chainlink is like Bitcoin. And this chart is only the beginning, right? This is the Chainlink weekly chart. Okay. Now, what happens, because some of you may know, I've actually manually by hand drawn the daily charts for both Ethereum and Bitcoin since 2017, like each little line. This could be just the start in Chainlink, right? If Chainlink is the way that all of this gets connected, why not? Right? I mean, what's Apple worth? what's Facebook or any of these other big tech stocks? Like, what are they worth? They are worth billions, trillions, right? So if Chainlink has the technology to connect blockchain, I don't see why it can't stay in the top 5 market cap. Let's put it that way, right? In other words, as market cap rises, as Bitcoin market cap rises, all of these other coins can catch up. They're not going to have the same market cap, but you know, if Bitcoin trades at 50,000, where's ETH? Where's Link? Where's Cosmos?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, 1,000 is a lot. I mean, obviously anything is possible, especially with Chainlink. Right? So definitely don't want to hop in front of that train. But I mean, I think as Bill mentioned, 160 definitely does seem manageable for sure, especially in the next few years or so. All right. So Ugo says he loves the background, Bill.
Thank you. Thank you. We work hard on that, believe it or not.
Yeah. Yeah. Then somebody says Bill got upgraded. All right. Thank you all. So tell us what you think. What's your price prediction for Chainlink? Share it down below. All right. So, okay. Yeah, we're getting lots of Uniswap coins. Let me see here. Okay. Actually, here's a different question. I kind of want to switch it up a little bit. What is the next Chainlink? Is there even a next Chainlink, as in an unknown or undervalued player with a good shoot of potentially mooning and taking large market share? Oh, wow. It depends on what kind of question you're asking. If you're asking for just any cryptocurrency that could be the next Chainlink, for sure, right? I mean, I definitely do think there is a next Chainlink. It may seem funny, but basically the ones I have right now, I'm in Helium network, Matic network. I think both of those could be the next Chainlink from just a crypto standpoint. If we're speaking to oracles, I would have to go with DIA, DIA. Our tech team has looked into it, and the code is solid, super solid. Actually, it has a better tech score than Chainlink itself, right? And so for anybody out there who's really looking for the next big oracle, we think that has potential. Not financial advice. I don't own any, but just from it having solid technology, that comes to mind. Band protocol as well has also been pretty good, but we think DIA was more undervalued than Chainlink or Band. So DIA, in August, it had a nice run. And maybe Bill could pull up DIA and take a look at that and see how that's doing. That's DIA.
Right. Yeah, no. So I've been watching all this, right? Everybody wants to sort of play and like who's next, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. You know, people are trading this like they gave it up for dead. Okay. So, you know, it went to $3 and then it crashed. And then this is almost like I would call this a double give up. In other words, look at this. Okay. So this is a 4-hour chart. So this is the election. Okay. Now that's when Uniswap and all of these DeFi tokens exploded. And what happened to DIA? Well, it didn't do much. I mean, yes, it went from 1 to, 1.25, which is, that's pretty good. But everybody turned around and sold it. So it was a different kind of give up trade, just like this one. So this to me looks like a double give up, right? They sold it on the way down and they sold the first rally. And then you got people like Ian and our tech team saying that this has got solid technology, and everybody just sort of pushed it out of a car. Okay. And this brings up an important point. The first move is always wrong. It's a famous phrase about events, right? Now in crypto, you know, a lot of governance tokens doubled, right? That was the first move. But a lot of other stuff like DIA apparently got left behind. So, yeah. Okay. The stuff that pumped first was kind of like, you know, it was getting killed and then it like revalued itself, right? Equilibrium, if anybody's ever taken economics. But the real value, like the gems, DIA could be one of those plays because people may have just said, oh, you know, this didn't go up. I'm not going to look at this. That's the stuff you want to buy. Now, not financial advice, don't know anything about this coin fundamentally, but I do believe that there are cryptos out there sitting around that have not rallied, that once someone goes, oh no, or oh, okay, and that's when the really, really big moves are going to occur.
Yeah, I mean, definitely solid points there, Bill. So tell us what you think. What do you think is the next Chainlink? Is it DIA? Is it some other cryptocurrency we don't know? Tell us down below. Okay, all right. Great questions, everybody. Keep them coming. Okay, I mean, people have lots of moon questions today. I guess the elections have people thinking about that money printer. Okay, so do you think we will see alts doing a 500x or 1000x if when Bitcoin goes parabolic? Yeah, I mean, I'll say, of course. I mean, that's kind of been the norm. Bitcoin rallies, then after a while it slows down, pauses, money flows into altcoins. People basically cash their profits out, going into altcoins. Then they pump, then they cash out and buy more Bitcoin. And that's kind of been like the eternal dance of crypto trading and investing. Bill?
I'm proposing a change to the eternal dance in crypto. All right.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. So what do altcoins usually do? They go up 500%. Everyone buys the top. No one sells. It goes down to zero and everyone's wrecked. I have a new concept. How about Bitcoin goes up, ETH follows, and then like bigger altcoins do like a 3x or a 2x. Now everyone's like, wow, Bill, that's boring. You mean it's not going up 500x? Yes, I'm telling you, you could put in 1,000 and come out with 3,000. That's pretty good. Okay. You know, a 3x or a 5x is life-changing money, particularly if it's in a coin that you don't have to worry that it's going to go to zero. That's why I brought up things like Ethereum, privacy coins, you know, a lot of the stuff that trades on Coinbase, Chainlink. You know, why can't that stuff do a 2x or a 3x? Or why couldn't something like DIA come out of nowhere?
Yeah.
It can happen, but it's not. I don't think you want 500x, because 500x is usually what occurs right before everything goes to zero. We don't want to repeat. We don't want that. That's not sustainable.
Well, I mean, I would say for those who cash out, they definitely do want that 500x.
Yes. Yes. I would like to go on Uniswap and get a 500x. We would all want that.
But cashing out.
At Token Metrics, you know, we're kind of running a platform for cryptocurrency investing. You know, I think, you know, if you want 1,000x, it may be at Macau or in Vegas. but yeah, we can help you invest. And crypto, as our audience knows, you know, you're not going to get 3x in legacy unless you get like a Tesla or a Zoom event.
Yeah. Now, I mean, for those who are looking for those 1,000x returns in crypto, it's going to take a long time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take years. I mean, so for example, Ethereum, Bitcoin did 1,000x, but that took years. So, I mean, if you're in it for the long haul, find great projects. I mean, as we mentioned earlier, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot, we think those are solid projects that, I mean, 10 years from now, they could 1,000x again, right? Those are projects. if any project is going to do 1,000x again or ever, we think those projects are definitely up there, especially over a time frame of 10 years. Now, not everyone wants to hear 10 years to make 1,000x. People want tomorrow, right? But just be present, be there, and sometimes you get luck, right? Obviously, trading and investing does include skill, but sometimes it does include an element of luck, of being in the right place at the right time. So when something happens, you're still in the market. But anyway, yeah, so Joe C says as well, anything that does 1,000x quick does a negative 99% really quick. Absolutely, absolutely. Right, so just make sure you're in the right coins that are still going to be around long term, and then there's a better chance of having good returns, and hopefully, if you're lucky, the next returns. All right, so let's keep it moving. Okay, so here's a favorite that's back, Vechain.
Oh, Vechain.
Yeah, so thoughts on Vechain, VET, long-term and short-term, TA, and fundamentals. Also, could we see a $1 Vechain at the peak of the next bull run, end of 2021 maybe? Thanks. I mean, well, fundamentals haven't really changed. Fundamentals on Vechain have been pretty good, pretty solid. Just go to tokenmetrics.com to see our fundamental review on that. Then we'll have Bill pull up the TA perspective to kind of see where we think it's going short term.
Okay, coming right up here.
And then you can also be sure to check out our price predictions for Vechain on site.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so Vechain. So I'm going to put together something that I learned on the show. One of the things that I like, because believe it or not, I've actually worked remotely for a long time, is that I love it when we have other guests on the show, right? Because it's not like we all work in like the crypto skyscraper and can, you know, talk in the lunchroom, right? It doesn't work that way. So I'm going to tell you what I learned about Vechain from talking to two of our guests. One guest said, you know, this guy had 100,000 followers, and he said that he likes Vechain because Vechain is very good at what it does in a very small niche. Okay. So it's almost like the biotech of crypto. It's very specialized. Now, from another guest, I learned that the most important fib number frequently in crypto is the 62% retracement. So Vechain does this big rally in the summer, tops out in August, and then crashes to the 62% retracement. Now, is somebody asking if this could go to $1? Sure. Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of shopping I'm talking about doing. Right. In other words, everyone's like, oh, where's the 500X? I'm like, well, I don't know, but Vechain could go from 1 cent to $1. I guess that is the math you're talking about. Right. So why not? I mean, let's go. I mean, you know what? Someone's going to tell me, oh yeah, let's get short crypto. Let's sell altcoins. Come on. Really? No. You know, yes, crypto can go down because government officials can say something. You know, there could be 4 different black swans, but that makes something like Vechain more interesting because, again, it's a niche player. So somebody wanted it down here when everyone was giving up, right? Do you see how this is just like total despair here? Everyone is just like, oh my God, it broke the 62% retracement. Life is over. And then that's when it turns and goes up.
All right. That's great news for Vechain. I know we definitely have a huge Vechain army out there. So let us know. Make your voices heard down in the comments below. Are you hollowing Vechain? What are your price targets? I saw somebody here mention that they have Vechain long term. That was Jedediah. Totally butchered that, I think. But either way, Vechain army, tell us what you think. Awaken says Bill is on fire tonight. Joe says Bill got that Jersey attitude. Yeah, actually, Bill, I take it you're a big Springsteen fan coming from Jersey. Is-
You know what? I grew up with the boss, and his story is actually very inspirational. He wanted to do his music his way. They told him to change it, and he
Mhm.
wouldn't. And he actually lived in a trailer and did whatever he had to do to eventually make it work. And when they discovered him, obviously, he became a legend.
Mhm.
So, given that I'm from New Jersey and that I'm working for Token Metrics, we're kind of a low cap gem in YouTube and crypto. I would love to repeat the success of the boss by getting discovered here with my colleague Ian and doing a Bruce and going to the moon. So,
Absolutely. To the moon and beyond. Yes. Joe says, let Bill know I really appreciate his TA. Yeah, absolutely. Bill has been doing a great job.
thank you.
And Mr. Next Level says, love using tokenmetrics. Keep it up. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate it. So actually, speaking of that, let's actually do so quick recognition to Bill. I mean, Bill has been crushing it. So for those who don't know, Bill was recently quoted in CNN. So I mean, as Bitcoin is getting bullish, as crypto is getting bullish, people. Uh, so as crypto and Bitcoin is getting bullish, people are beginning to come to the experts, and everyone has known for a while, but now everyone else is discovering how good we have it here at Tokenmetrics. So if you go on the site now, we've added some recent press we've been receiving. So recently, Bill was quoted in CNN. Yes, CNN. Mr. Bill Noble himself. So if he was quoted alongside Novogratz. Did you guys ever work together at Goldman?
I never worked with Novogratz. We have the same haircut. I'm never growing that mustache in. I don't care what I don't care what anyone. All right. But yes, it was nice to have Novo at the top and on the video and me down below.
Yeah. So here's a
So
quote from Bill. Nothing is stopping it from going to 2017 high, said Bill Noble, chief technical analyst with research firm Token Metrics. Then you go on to say everybody is afraid to miss out, and that drives the price. So maybe kind of just add more context to the story, Bill.
sure. So what's been happening with the media in general is that, people who cover legacy markets, like first the crypto press was interested in talking to us, but now the legacy press, okay, you know, they'll get an email or an instant message from their editor that says, you need to write about Bitcoin. Okay. And they're like, oh, really? Well, I don't know anything about it. So what they're doing is they're coming to us, okay, because we can kind of give it to them in a nutshell, right? And I think one of the things that the media is the most interested in is this idea of corporates meaning like companies like MicroStrategy, Square, PayPal, these guys buying Bitcoin, right? Like I talked to one person at Business Insider who actually quoted me saying, if you're a corporate CFO, don't bother going to the holiday party without an ugly Bitcoin Christmas sweater, right? You better have the Christmas sweater and you better have it on the books or don't go. Because you know what? Everyone will ask you, hey, sir, dude, when are we going to get Bitcoin? Why don't we have it?
Yeah. I mean,
Because I can tell you right now, Google how much money MicroStrategy has made on its Bitcoin. MicroStrategy is not, they were the first one to do it. That is not a big company.
yeah.
Right. So they may be paying bonuses in crypto.
Oh man. I mean,
I don't
yeah.
know, but I'm just saying, they
Yeah.
got enough of it to hand out.
Yeah. I mean, if they're paying bonuses in crypto, everyone in crypto who has a day job is going to try to switch over to MicroStrategy. Crypto exodus.
Right. Well, I mean, it's undoubtedly a great tactic to try and compensate people and attract talent. It's like, we can pay you in stock or we can pay you in Bitcoin.
I'll take the Bitcoin every day. All right, so some comments here. Business suit Bill Noble. Okay, I like it. Love Tokenmetrics. Wish I could buy a membership. Are you planning to give away any more lifetime memberships? Unfortunately, not any lifetime memberships. Now, we do have our scholarship program that we launched a few weeks back. So it's basically part of our affiliate program. Just go down to the site, down here at the bottom. Click here to join the scholarship program. So basically, the way it works very quickly, if you refer 5 people to the hodler plan for 12 months, you basically get 1 year free of the hodler plan. If you invite 10 people to the investor plan, you get investor plan for 12 months. Or if you invite 50 people to the professional plan, you can get the professional plan. Yes, the professional plan, the one that costs $3,600 a year. You will get money as an affiliate for getting those referrals and get free access for 12 months in our private group, in our private network. You have access to Bill, myself, our team, other people in the group. I mean, so if you've ever wanted to join Tokenmetrics and you didn't have the money, if you're willing to evangelize it, we'll give you a scholarship, right? Because we want to make sure if you're willing to put in the work, we're willing to bring you into the family, essentially, right? So definitely do smash those like buttons, as Diego says. All right, so once again, congrats, Bill. Good work.
Thank you.
And I think once Bitcoin gets to 20K, don't be surprised to see Bill on TV. I mean, because who's a better voice for crypto than Bill? I mean, Bill's kind of our low-key gem, right? And he's about 1000x.
Right. The 1000x is actually me and you, because when the media discovers, I've said this all along, right? When the media discovers 2 people who look different, okay, but are still in crypto and they're working together while everyone else in the world is fighting each other, okay, to help other people make money on YouTube. Okay. Now, when someone figures this out, when someone finds, it's not just me, it's us. Ian is the man who started the show, right? He's like, hey, we're going on YouTube. I'm like, yeah, we are. Let's go. Right. This is his big idea. So when we get found, we will always remember the people who watched us and helped us when we started, which would be you, our viewers.
Yeah, absolutely. Our family, Tokenmetrics family.
Right on.
Yeah, great words, Bill. And thank you to everybody out there. Be sure to subscribe and smash those like buttons if you haven't yet already. Okay, all right, let's get back into the AMA. So we covered that. Okay, somebody's asking how to get Ohey Matty's NFT card. I would say go watch last week's live stream. I think we covered it towards the end of the live stream, but I don't have the direct link to that. Okay, and then the next one, actually somebody just posted the link. Okay, I guess there you go. Okay, so some people are asking about Helium network. Let's pull that up. Okay, Helium is getting a fixed cap now with HIP20, Helium Improvement Proposal, and the price seems to be growing after the news. I see triple-digit Helium prices. Thoughts? Okay, so I did hear some big news coming out, I think in either an email I sent or in the group, but I didn't really look into it, but let me do that now, because as a Helium owner, I definitely have a vested interest in this. Okay, so let's take a look and see what the news is. Okay, so this is pretty interesting. So getting a max supply. Okay, so here's the draft on GitHub. Okay, so November 4th, 2020, this proposal suggests the introduction of halvings and net HNT issuance every 2 years based on block height to establish a max supply of HNT. Okay, so looks like they're modeling 21 million for Bitcoin. I mean, I think that would be great news if they can add a max supply. I'm not sure how that would affect people who are mining it. That's something that remains to be seen. But I think what really kind of has hurt Helium, miners were making a lot of money, but you had to be in a space or region with at least two other hotspots nearby, which made it very tough for people who are out there in the middle of nowhere. And I do get it for IoT devices. You want to make sure that there's lots of coverage, so they want to reward people who are clustered together, but that's not really helping or incentivizing people to want to add coverage to empty regions, right? For example, that's why I'm traveling with my Helium hotspot, trying to come to the big cities, as opposed to being in the middle of nowhere. And then the other thing I would say, once they launched the credits, basically the second token, basically the data credits for people who want to use the hotspot, that killed the amount of rewards miners were earning. And that, I think, also added extra pressure to people to sell and cash out. Because if you're not earning as much as you were a few months back, then you definitely want to cash out, especially if you see the price coming back down. So I think anything that was going to restrict the supply long term is definitely an added bonus that will be welcomed by investors like myself. Bill?
Okay, so obviously at Token Metrics in our discussion groups, we've got people who are into this. Now, I got to tell you something. This is probably one of the greatest like give up trades like I've ever seen and reversal in a short-term period. Okay. This is a classic V bottom, right? All the way down, all the way back. Now, when you have something like this, okay, I don't think Helium, it's kind of like a hidden play in some ways. But if this reflects what can go on in all of crypto, right? Like people just gave up on this, like it was going to go to zero. And then the next thing you know, there's a fundamental catalyst and it's off to the races. Now, is it going to go to the moon? I don't know. Okay. But I do know that this chart symbolizes a crypto market that is undervalued and underappreciated. And if this can happen in Helium, it can happen in every single market. That includes DeFi, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, all of them. So I think this is symbolic, right? Because this looked like it was going to die just visually. I mean, I could not have told somebody to buy that on the way down. Just because it looked like it was going to go to zero, not knowing what it is. So when people give up in crypto, man, do they give up? I mean, they just rage quit, right? But when people rage quit, right, that's the time to get in. And now I think we're in a space where, okay, some stuff has rallied and people are like, oh, you know, can I buy it? I was like, well, what's the all-time high? Oh, 12. Where is it now? 3? What? So it was at 1.5, it went to 3, and the all-time high it's 12, and you can't buy it at 3, right? That's what those scarring moves do to you, right? And I'm bringing, as that one person noted, I'm bringing some New Jersey here to try and help you break out of that. That, you know, if a $12 coin went to 1 is now at 3, it might be a buy at 2.5. Yeah, you're going to have to overcome that fear because, you know, like this is what crypto was made for, this type of election pandemic mess.
All right. Yeah. So Frey says worth listening to their new podcast. They break down the HIP20 changes. It's revolutionary. Okay. Which podcast is that? Because I had no idea Helium had their own podcast. We'll have to look into that. But I mean, as somebody who has Helium, because I have Helium, but I don't even look at the price. I mean, because I I bought some at 20, bought some at like $1.20 and 50, I believe. And I've been mining it since the beginning. And then somebody told me it went to like $3 or $4, then came back down to like $1, and I had no idea. Like when I say long term, I don't even check the price. I'm just mining it because I feel like when you find those products you like, you stick with them, and you don't check the price. Come back 5 years later, you'll be up, right? So to me, Helium is that kind of play because I know 5 years down the road, it's going to be a win no matter what. Well, obviously not financial advice, just my opinion. But with that being said, tell us what you think. Do you think this proposal will change Helium for the better? Post down below in the comments. Okay, episode 5. All right, we'll check it out. HNT is going to be really bullish. Yeah, I think if they can restrict the supply, that's a game changer. I just hope that we can mine all those tokens before before it's over. Okay, all right. Moving on. Okay. Okay, so people want us to take a look at Icon, the classic Icon. All right, what do you think about the future of Icon? The 100x back in 27. So this comes up a lot. I mean, Icon, we do have the full review and rating on Metrics. Definitely do go there to check it out. Icon is a good project, right? So don't get me wrong, it's a good project, but the space is a lot more competitive because back in 2017, Icon was the best. But now you have Polkadot, you have Cosmos, and quite frankly, we think these projects have better technology, and they even have, well, Icon has a huge zealous community. They're going up against Polkadot and Gavin Wood, who's former co-founder of Ethereum. Like he was basically the guy who made Ethereum. He's now doing Polkadot. So it's a very, very competitive space. It's going to be a lot challenging for them to do 100x in the short term. Long term, anything's possible, but because that capital that could take Icon to 100x is now flowing into Polkadot and Cosmos. So in a way, it's kind of dividing the pie, right? To kind of use a sports analogy, imagine having two good players in the same team. It makes it tougher for the good player or the best player on that team to win MVP, if that makes sense, right? Kind of like with LeBron and Anthony Davis, or maybe if, I don't know, Tom Brady and Gronk on the same team, right? So that's kind of the sports analogy. Bill?
Okay, so there's two ways to look at this, right? There's a way to say, all right, so Icon likes to sort of go up, scare everybody, and then come back down again. Okay. And there is an interpretation of this chart that could be constructive if it would get back above 38 cents. That's our famous 62% retracement level that we learned on the show was so important. Okay. So this does not look bad. Okay. However, one of the things that I have seen when like a small altcoin is going to die are these double spikes, right? You know, they pump it, everyone unloads their bags. They pump it, everyone unloads their bags. So if there's a better alternative out there, why don't you go with that? Now, with Icon, I would just put a caveat that if a trend did start, like if you started to see this kind of green in Icon, like this, go with that. But if it's just sitting here, it may not do much. So it's a case where I know you want to buy low and sell high, but you know, you'd be better off buying this on a huge burst through 40 cents than you would right now.
All right. Thank you, Bill. That was great insight. Tell us what you think. If you're holding Icon, are you still holding? Are you trading it? What do you think it's going? Tell us down below. Okay, so let's take some requests here from our crypto family in the comments. People have been asking us to look into Thorchain. Symbol, I think it's THOR or just Thorchain. I'm not quite sure. I have to take a look. Let me see if I can get there.
It looks like the symbol is rune.
Oh, Rune, yes, yeah, that's the one. All right, so Thorchain is coming up, G logo. Thanks for that request. If you're enjoying this live stream, be sure to smash the like buttons, subscribe, share this video with your friends and on Telegram groups, on Twitter, on Facebook, wherever you're watching. Get them into crypto because the time is now. As we mentioned earlier in the stream, this is the time to BTFD. Okay, so if you're doing that, make sure your friends have the analysis. All right.
Okay, so this brings me back to the good old days of DeFi, where something would rush up to a resistance point, and my comment is normally when something gets to resistance, like right here, okay, you would sell. But in this particular case, Thorchain is doing a lot of green action here. And this looks like somebody wants to do the bigger the base, the higher in the space, right? Because again, look at everybody giving up here on the dip. It's like, oh, it didn't 20x. Oh, okay, let's sell. No, let's not. Let's buy. Okay. So this thing has made a base, and this thing could go from 60 cents back to 120 as far as I'm concerned.
Now, how would you treat it on that resistance? Let's say you aren't in it yet. Would you wait for it to break out and then buy, or would you buy? No.
Okay, so this is a good question, right? So in a normal world, I would say don't FOMO in. Okay. In this particular case, I would say use any dip in the short term to try to just jump in, right? In other words, you jump in, say here, right? And then if it goes up, if it goes like this, then you buy the dip here, right? Sorry. Okay. So you buy it now when it's at resistance, and it's a gamble. And I know it's not orthodox. And then if it actually breaks out, okay, you buy it on the next dip. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a risky play. But if crypto is going to do what I think it's going to do, then buying something just below resistance is not the worst idea. Right? Now, obviously, if you get the bigger dip, great. But you just got a bigger dip on the 7th. No one wanted it, and then it went straight up.
All right. All right. Thank you, Bill. So there you go to everybody out there who's been requesting Rune. Tell us what you think down in the comments below. Okay, so let's do one more from the comments on the Tokemetrics YouTube channel. So Cardano, Ada.
All right.
Yeah, so Cardano has been pretty popular on Twitter, but it's also been pretty quiet ever since Polkadot came out. I feel like Polkadot kind of took the attention and awareness away from Cardano. But let's see if it's been slowly building and whether it's a good entry to get in.
Okay, bringing up the chart here now.
All right.
Okay, so with Cardano, it's something that it would be nice if it went up, right? But it just can't seem to get going. All right, now here's what I will say about this. When you have something like Cardano, okay, it's interesting that, you know, back when DeFi was falling apart, there were buyers down here. Okay. And before it got to the 62% retracement, it's trying to go up, but this needs some sort of catalyst. It's not acting like it was back in the DeFi days, right? So I think with all these cryptos, if you want to take a shot, take the shot. Does this look perfect? No. It looks like everyone is trying to get out of their bags right here. Okay. So, it rushes up and everyone sells. But hey, guess what? All these people who are selling the first uptick, they could be wrong. Now, I'm not saying I love this, but I'm saying if you love it or if you like it, take your shot.
All right.
In just about everything, I would say that. And in this particular case, I mean, Cardano is a big market cap coin. That's not a small coin. And I think those type of cryptos can actually do well.
All right. Shoot your shot.
Shoot your shot.
Okay. All right. So Paul says, ADA has almost head and shoulders. I would short it to 15%. And he says, short ADA to 3 cents. Okay. All right. Well, looks like somebody is a bear on Cardano. But hey, if you like Cardano, let us know. If you're bearish on Cardano, let us know. But either way, thanks, Steve, for asking that. You're welcome. All right, so tell us what you think down in the comments below. Okay, all right. Back to the live stream here. Okay, this is an interesting question. Back to the Fed. Can Trump abolish the Fed on his way out the door? I don't think so. I mean, I'm no constitutional lawyer per se, but I think his time is done. At least because he hands over power next year, right? So there's basically a month and a half left, and right now they're getting ready to transition. So I mean, and he would have to get anything through Congress, and Congress is kind of on hiatus, I believe, or they wouldn't really do much. What do you think, Bill?
All right. So the answer to the question is no, but it is a good question because what Trump can do is Trump can leave the Fed holding the bag for the economy. Right. This is why I'm in BTFD mode. If they can't get some sort of fiscal stimulus done with the number of evictions that are coming, that means the Fed is just going to have to come in. They're just going to have to come in huge, like ridiculous. Okay. In other words, because these QE things, right? Like last time they did 2.6 trillion, right? So if they did 1 trillion, people would be disappointed. These things, it requires more and more sugar to get the markets going. So that's the only way it's going to work.
All right, that makes sense. So thank you, Bill. Okay, let me find some more questions here. Yeah, we have a lot more questions than normal. I think we're getting back into a bull run here. Okay, just trying to see what's good to ask. All right, almost there. Just give me a second. Okay, here's a question about the indices. Hey, Ian, I'm a fan of Ethereum, but want to continue building a portfolio based on the annual balanced indices. What's your opinion on either option for a long-term holding strategy? Okay, so option between Ethereum and, I would say do both. You can have multiple indices, right? So I know some customers who have maybe 2 or 3 indices they're following, maybe one for long-term, one for short-term trading. or maybe some are just doing one long term, but also have a different part of allocation towards coins they like, such as Ethereum or maybe some new altcoin or what have you. So you can do both, right? You definitely don't have to be limited to just going into one index. Bill, what do you think?
Okay, I completely agree. In other words, I think when you trade or when you do like annual investing, literally you're going to want to go to tokenmetrics.com. You're going to want to look at our value quarterly and annual indices. And, we're coming out with new grades, but I'm really interested in what we have for like things like monthly trader. Like what did the AI see prior to the election? Right? Quarterly also updated recently. So I think, and I did it a little bit on the PowerPoint earlier, and I want to make sure our customers get value. So I don't want to put the whole thing up for free on YouTube. But I do think there is a way to build a portfolio where, you've got your Bitcoin and your Ether, right? And probably your Chainlink. But there's a way to not only put 3 or 4 more big coins that we have in those portfolios, and then just start adding a whole bunch of alts onto it as well. So you can take our portfolios, but I think we're in a space where using what we do to build your own could be very effective, especially when we're in this like sort of BTFD mode where, the dips will be scary.
Yeah. And we're almost getting ready to launch the new grading system, totally revamped to be a lot better, the quant grade and trader grade, and also a new way to allocate capital more efficiently with the indices. So that will be coming this month. So stay tuned. Okay, so here's one people have been talking about in the comments a lot. Theta, THEAT. Lots of people have been asking us to even stream on there. I think they launched some on-demand streaming based on what I heard in the comments. Yeah, viewers get paid to watch streams on Theta. Okay, no wonder people are telling us to stream on there. People can get tokens.
Okay, THETA.
Yes.
Okay, not coming up on the Uniswap tool.
Oh, it's on I think Binance. It should be on TradingView, regular TradingView.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me just look there.
Okay, people asking me to grow a mustache. Yeah, I mean it's mustache November or it's called, I think, right? Some people on our team are growing some out, but I haven't really been one to grow a stash. Maybe a goatee, but a stash, no.
Okay, here it comes. Okay, so I got the tether pair. Wow, this is interesting. Okay, so here's what this looks like. Okay, there's your first part. There's your second part. Okay, there's like the slow gradual move up. And then there's kind of a interesting retest and then up again. Okay, that's probably not the best wave count ever. But the point is, when something does a consolidation like this, okay, it makes kind of like a triangle. Okay, it's usually a sign it wants to go up. It was the same thing here. Right, let me redraw this. Okay, normally when you see this up, sideways up, it's the way Monero acted. So, I know it sounds like I'm in Moon Boy mode, but there's actually a lot of evidence on charts, right? Things go up, they consolidate, and now all it takes is a catalyst to get everything going.
Yeah. So Steve says, have you guys heard of the Theta Google partnership? Yes, yes, we have. We actually did an investment report to our customers early in the year on Theta, and our team has looked into it. It is a decent project, definitely a decent project. So do check that out. They do have good partnerships. All right, but that's definitely good news to hear that it's bullish based on the TA. So tell us what you think. Are you bullish on Theta, or are you bearish? Okay, all right. Let's go to trade, Unitrade. Symbol is just trade, TRADE. This has been, lots of people have been asking about this one. So thoughts on Unitrade, TRAD, TA and fundamentals, and the most recent pump fake out, or are we likely to see continuation? Thanks. Can't really do much on the fundamentals because we haven't done a deep fundamental dive on it, but we can cover the TA. I think that one's probably going to be on
DEX tools.
Yeah, DEX tools.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is your 15-minute chart, right? Okay, so this is interesting in the sense that, you know, somebody used this uptick to get out, right? Because volume was very high right here. Okay. And since people were trapped as this thing went down, somebody went and got out, but guess what? It didn't go back down, right? Like somebody used the spike up to liquidate, buyers took it from them, and now they may want to take it from them again. So I don't think this is like, necessarily a moonshot, but there is upside here, I think, because whoever sold the first uptick was met by buyers.
That's good news. Good news to anybody out there who's trading trade. All right. Thank you, Bill. Okay, so we have a super chat here. So from Crypto Gamer, curious about TA on Mana, MANA. Oh, he gave us his whole portfolio. DNT and Civic. 2 days after Coinbase launch, where did DNT and Civic come from? I heard of Mana already. Great work, gentlemen. Thank you, Crypto Gamer. Let's do Mana, MANA.
Okay, I'm pulling that up now. Okay, so this is Mana on Coinbase. Okay, so here's what I think is happening here. It looks like this was the point where everyone was like, okay, everything's great. No, it's not. And everyone gave up, right? And now every time it rushes up to this point, everybody sells. Okay. So you can clearly see people unloading or trying to unload bags here. Okay. There's just one catch though. It's not backing off. This is a theme throughout the whole experience tonight, right? In other words, it doesn't back off. People are selling, but there's someone there to take it from them. Now, I don't know if this is the greatest fundamental coin in the world. I know it's been added to Coinbase. But when I look at this, it makes me bullish crypto. Now, if you know what this is and you've done your research and you like it, stay with it. Okay, even though it's at resistance, because again, if the bulls suddenly take over here, okay, all of these altcoins are going to flip from, destroyed and abandoned to, oh my God, I got to have it. So people are selling here. You have to understand that. But if the bulls take it from them, right? Okay, right here. If it breaks through that 0.09 area, it can really go up. Okay. So I don't want to be a moon boy, but I do want you to buy breakouts.
All right. So, and he was asking, where did DNT and Civic come from? So those were 2017 ICOs. Actually, I was an investor in both of them. They've been around for a while. I mean, but they haven't really done much since 2017. I'm surprised they even made it to Coinbase, quite frankly. But I mean, I made money on them. Almost everyone did. If you sold and got out within a reasonable time frame prior to the bear market in 2018. With that being said, thank you for that, Crypto Gamer. Thank you for the kind words. And yeah, tell us what you think. Are you bullish in Mana or not? Okay. Wow. Let's check in here with our audience and see how we're doing. We've been going for a while, for a long time. And be sure to smash the like buttons and subscribe if you haven't yet already. And also be sure, if you enjoy the content here, definitely make sure you subscribe to tokenmetrics.com. We have discounted trials available. And actually, I forgot. Oh man, I can't believe I forgot about this. But this month is going to be our 1-year anniversary for Tokenmetrics, our birthday. So on the 29th of November will also be a Sunday. So it'll be during this live stream. It'll be our 1-year anniversary. So we definitely want to do something to just celebrate 1 year of having our product live with customers. Thank you to all our crypto family out there for the support, the kind words, the love and everything. So it's going to be quite the stream. So if you haven't yet become a customer, you've definitely been missing out, because we have lots of new things in store this month. As mentioned, the quant grade, the trader grade, the new ways to allocate the portfolio. I'm also working towards building Tokenmetrics 2.0 for next year, which will be revamped from the ground up to be a lot faster, a lot better graphics. We'll be adding sentiment analysis, planning to evolve from having, because right now Tokenmetrics 1.0 has at this point about 130 data points or so. 2.0 will have probably over 1,000 data points. And all this will be going into the AI and making it smarter and smarter and smarter. And we'll even have macroeconomic data and just giving you as much data as you can to give you better insights to help you make money, and also help you make money when the market goes down as well. So lots of things are coming up in store. And thank you to everybody out there. Thank you for all the kind words. And Dan says, I cannot do crypto without you. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Ox says, happy birthday. Subscribed and liked. That's awesome. We appreciate you too. Yeah, smash those like buttons. Okay, so I think with that being said, we're getting ready to kind of wrap up. Bill, any last words to our crypto family?
Yes. Make sure to give love to some Ian in the comments or on his Twitter. Either way, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. Also, in entrepreneurship in general, most people don't make it. Okay. And here we are. Okay. That's Ian Balina. As far as crypto goes, people, you know what I think. This is our time, and this is when you got to get busy. Even if you got smoked in DeFi, whatever chips you got left, use them.
Yeah, I think that's well said. BTFD. I mean, this is what we've been waiting for. I mean, because to kind of go back to the post-election, right? Because that's kind of the title of the stream. We'll be having a new SEC, right? So whoever is replacing Jay Clayton is going to be better than Jay Clayton. I mean, so our Securities Council basically says Jay Clayton has been the worst thing to crypto in the US. He's basically forced every entrepreneur to go offshore, right? So, I mean, companies, because even today I saw an article about Ripple opening up offices in Dubai, and they're thinking of moving because of just that they're done with regulation here in the US. So, and then Bill mentioned earlier, there's a new chairperson who's going to be the treasury, right? And if we get new people in the SEC, which is going to happen, we think this is going to be positive for crypto because anybody's going to be better than Jake Layden. But even from this pro crypto standpoint, once they begin printing more money, we're all going to the moon and beyond because digital currencies are coming. This train and rocket ship has left the station. Digital euro is coming. Digital dollar is coming. This will be the biggest marketing campaign to get people into crypto because once people realize how much they're unlike digital dollar or euro, they would want to look into other alternatives like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And it's not that big of a leap to go from digital dollar to Bitcoin to stablecoin to Ethereum to altcoin. People have kind of already done that naturally. I think that's why when you go to other countries like in Korea, where a huge part of the population is really into crypto, that same, I call it coming to crypto moment or coming to crypto Jesus moment is going to happen in crypto, right? That aha moment where you're like, oh, wow, I get it now. So, I mean, we've been here for a while. As Bill said, BTFD. I mean, we keep on saying it, but the time is now, right? Everything, like, I feel like everything is fully aligned. It's kind of like locked and loaded. Like everything's locked and loaded. We've been waiting for this. I mean, Bill's already here in a spaceship on the moon, and we're all going there with him. So with that being said, thank you, Crypto family. Happy Sunday. And as we like to say, the moon is not the limit to the moon and beyond. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bill.